Brooke Stewart, Multimedia Chairman for the state of California, here to talk to you about how we're going to be doing our Chapter Regent report at the upcoming state conference in March. This is a really exciting change, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Seriously. So, are you a new Regent? A little nervous about how to even do a Regent's report? Or maybe you're a shy person, a little nervous about public speaking. No worries, because this is going to be really fun and really easy. Or are you maybe not even going to be able to attend a state conference and you're wondering what to do about that? Well, we'll address that here as well. So let's talk about this. Okay, so a couple of things to note here first that are very important. You will still be writing your chapter's report and sending it to the recording secretary. That's always been a necessity, and she'll be sending you instructions to do this. Follow those instructions very carefully. That report is about the statistics of your chapter, details about what you've done. We won't be talking about that in this video, as that's something very different. But again, just remember that you must write that report just as it's always been required. The thing that's changed is how we give our verbal report at state conference. Okay, so number 2, photos. It's early enough in the DAR season to either know what activities you've already had or to know what's coming up. And you'll want to take at least one good picture of each activity. You don't have to have a fancy camera, honestly. You could just have a camera on your phone and that'll work just fine. You'll be sending these photos to your district director. We'll talk more about that later. Okay, so with regard to your verbal report, let's just jump right in, shall we? Okay, in the past, regents have gotten up with list in hand, told us all about the things they did. We all do fantastic and wonderful things in DAR, but many of them are honestly the same activities. We know that each of our California chapters are engaged in many of these same activities. So with that being said, let's talk about the different activities that we as chapters are planning and implementing. The activities that your chapter did, honestly, to make a difference for God, home, and country. That's what you're going to be doing and talking about in your Regents report. You'll think about 3, no more than 4 unique activities that your chapter has participated in this year. Did you help feed the homeless? Make sure you get a good photo of your chapter doing this. Did you gather items for a young military family and have a baby shower for them, giving them the gifts? Maybe you did that. So take a moment and think about what your chapter has planned for this year or has already done this year. Do you or will you have some good things to report? I'm sure you will. But first, let's talk about the photos. What you'll do is you'll send one photo of each activity to your district director. I'll repeat that because it's very important. You'll send only one photo of each activity. Please, please, this is super important. Please do not send a bunch of photos and say, oh, they'll just pick the best one. No, we are not your chapter. These photos are a representation of your chapter, and you are your chapter, honestly. So you must pick one photo per activity. Again, send these to your district director. Now, so you've chosen your 3 to 4 activities that you've done. You've sent 3 to 4 photos to your district director. Now you write your verbal report. You're going to love this, honestly. Let's take those items mentioned earlier as an example. So let's say your activities that you report are as follows. Number 1, you're going to mention that you, A, helped feed the homeless at a downtown shelter. 2, you helped hold a baby shower for a local military family. And 3, let's say you had a special Veterans Day event honoring local veterans. Okay, so your report will look like this. Madam State Regent, we helped feed the homeless at our downtown shelter. We held a baby shower for young military families. And we had a special Veterans Day event for local veterans. That's it. Seriously, can you believe that? So incredibly easy. Now, let's talk about how you're going to give this crazy easy report, okay? This is news especially for those new regents who haven't done this before, so you veteran regents who already know this, bear with me. First of all, look in the call to conference for the date and time that your district will be reporting. It's in there. It's usually kind of toward the end of the document, but it's in there. And by the way, as an aside, be sure to read your call to conference fully. There's a lot of information in there that you'll want to know earlier, honestly, rather than later. Things that you'll want to know, like when you need formal dress, or special activities that you need to sign up for. All kinds of good things that if you wait till right before state conference, you might miss out on some wonderful opportunities, honestly. So districts always report during a business meeting. When you find out the day and time that your district will be reporting, be sure to find your seat a little early, as your district director may have some last-minute news or instructions for you. You'll find your chapter name on a special seat toward the front of the room for this business session only. So find your seat. You'll find it in alphabetical order with the chapters in your district. When it's time, a page will direct your district to stand together and go up onto the platform on the side of the room. So you'll sit in your seats there in order. Now let me show you a little bit what that's going to look like. Okay, so there you are. All of your district regents are seated on the platform on the side of the room along with your district director. Comes time for your district to give their reports. So your district director will stand and she will have the microphone. This is my makeshift mic for the day. She'll have the microphone and she'll hold it for each regent. It'll make it faster and easier, and everybody will be able to hear you better if we do it this way. So she will stand next to the first regent. Let's say that's you. Okay, let's say you're Mary Smith. And she will say, Madam State Regent, Regent Mary Smith, Chapter A, reporting. At which time you will stand and you will say your report. And let's say, for example, this is your report. You will say, Madam State Regent, we held a baby shower for local military families. We gathered personal items and donated them to a local women's shelter. And we held a very special Veterans Day event honoring some of our local veterans. Thank you. You'll sit down. As you're giving your report and saying those events, the photo that you've sent will be shown on the screen. So for example, when you mention your first event, the first event photo will show on the screen. When you say the second event photo will show on the screen, and so on. That's why you're sending in 3 to at the most 4 events and photos that you'll be talking about in your report. And then you'll be able to sit down and watch the rest of them. She'll go to the next regent and she will say, Debbie Smith, Chapter B, reporting. And she will stand and she will give her report. And it will go on down the line. Now, when she gets to the end and all of the regents or the representatives have reported, then she will give her director's report, the district director's report. So that's it. Seriously, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But one last thing to note about what you're going to say in your report. If there's an activity in which the whole district has participated, your district director will most likely be mentioning that in her report. So be sure to take note of the directions that you're given in this regard. For example, if your whole district participated in something like Reads Across America, your district director will probably be mentioning this. So again, be sure to coordinate with her about your report. You want to talk about your chapter's unique activities. This is the time to brag a little about your chapter, so take it. So that's it. To recap, take great pictures of the things your chapter does. Figure out what you're going to brag about in your report, the activities that your chapter did to make a difference for God, home, and country. Pick one good photo of each of these activities. Send those photos to the district director, one photo per activity. And then write your very basic verbal report, one short sentence, honestly, for each activity. Then send your report to your district director so that it is in coordination with hers. And then look in the call to conference to notice your reporting date and time, and be sure to show up early there on that day. And then Give your fun and easy report to the membership that's there. That's it. Sit back down. That is the whole day. Now, for those who think that they might not make it to state conference, try to get someone to give your report and represent your chapter at state conference. This is a great job, honestly, for your first vice regent, if she can be there. If you do have someone to represent your chapter at state conference, help teach this person what they're going to do. The instructions in this video should help. Your chapter works so hard. Really try to get someone there to represent yourself, your chapter, to the membership, to be able to share what you've done, honestly. If you can't find anyone to be there, please be sure to send your chapter photos still and your verbal report to your district director, and she'll give your report for you. But we really hope that you'll have someone there from your chapter. I hope if you were feeling nervous or unsure about any of this, that this video has helped calm your heart, to really see how easy it's all going to be. So if you have any questions or fears, call me. If you're feeling nervous at state conference, come find me. It really will be fun, I think. In DAR service with you, I'm Brooke Stewart.